guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I am in my vehicle and traveling, and I've been doing that a lot. I decided to go ahead and make a quick update video. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. There's a lot that's been happening, and I figured now I have no obligation to tell anybody anything on why I have not been on any lives or doing any content. But I consider you guys partially my family too, and you guys have seen Zach grow, and you know, you guys have been through a lot of stuff with me, with my mom's cancer and all that, so I figured that it would be a good time why I am going to place to give you guys an update and tell you why I haven't been around. And this is going to be a long video, so if you guys don't want to watch this, then please just scroll or shut it off, whatever you want to do. The last update I had given you guys was about my craft room. My husband did complete it. I was in the process of trying to organize, getting rid of stuff, and I do have other things that I was hoping to sell. I'm still hoping to do it, just don't know when I'll have the time right now. Don't know when I'll have the time to make content. There may be one of these things that I go live. I don't know. I am very overwhelmed, and needless to say, this past, well, about 3 weeks to a month, things have progressed even worse. So, you guys knew that Jamie and I and Zach moved out of my parents' apartment, got a house. We all knew that, right? All that stuff. Part of this I'm just going to say, and it's not the rest of the story to tell, so I'm just going to say that my mom moved out of the farm, and not by choice, for the most part. So she is now living with my aunt and my cousins. And some of you guys know, some of you don't. The real reason why we bought a house was because we were booted out by my mom. Now, I don't know if it was my mom or if it was my stepdad telling her to do it. I don't know. But I had a real bad grudge with my mom for a while. And I kept getting told, people tell me, you're going to regret that one day. You need to, put your mom in part of it and everything else. Well, I got over the anger, and I just said, you know what, with everything going, our life's going good, everything else, Zach wants to see his grandma. I did not tell him he could not ever see his grandma, nothing like that. So, roughly we started talking back and forth, and Zach's birthday came and went. We got our four-wheelers out of their area that weekend. I think it was 2 weeks after that, because we actually did the four-wheelers the weekend of Zach's birthday, which is June 25th. We had a couple more things that I had sold, like the lawnmower that was ours, a riding lawnmower from when we had our old house, and then a golf cart that I put in a lot of money, new batteries, all that stuff. I had no place to put it, so we sold it. So it was all fine then. We were still knowing it. I knew that my mom was moving out because my stepdad filed for divorce. That's all I'm going to say about that. not my story to tell. But this last part, it kind of is, but it's none of my... I'm trying to stay out of that part. But then I got Jerry put back into it. So, about August, I want to say 14th is what I want to say. My dad turned 70. My real dad turned 70 August 13th. And my dad hasn't been doing well. And a lot of people has known that my dad hasn't been doing well. Well, I got the phone call. They were taking him back to the hospital. He had just got out 4 days prior to that. He couldn't breathe, everything else. And I was told to get my ass down there now by my brothers and sisters. I took off, crying as hell, trying not to cry now. Thankfully, I got calmed down while I was driving, talking to somebody, and I appreciate her more than she will ever know. It was hard for me to not take Zach with me down there, and he so wanted to go. And I told him I just couldn't have you go because we didn't know what was going on. I did not know. I told him I'd keep him posted, I'd keep him updated. Jamie took care of Zach. I went down to the hospital, Lutheran Hospital in Fort Wayne. And in the process of me talking on the phone with my best friend and everything, my phone was blowing up. People were trying to get a hold of me, and I'm like, I just can't take this right now. And the other one was my aunt. Well, I knew, I'm like, I'll get it as soon as I get to the hospital, because my bestie was the only one that could actually calm me down enough so when I was on an interstate driving, I didn't do something stupid or get in an accident. So when I get to the hospital, I let her go. I call my sister, find out where my dad is. He's in the ER. And normally they only let 2 people in the ER room. Well, that changed really quickly. There was like 5 of us. There was my stepmom, my cousin Jen, myself, and then my sister, and then my other brother showed up. My one brother was in Wisconsin? No. Well, he was out of the state, and we actually had to call him home. So they didn't give him much to do, and he doesn't want to. My dad never wanted to be resuscitated. Nothing. He's done. He kept telling us. So they had already shut off his defibrillator, so it wouldn't shock him anymore. And all he had was his pacemaker to help pump, or that's all he had. He was still like really swollen. So we were there. Before I got taken into the room to see my dad, my aunt finally got a hold of me to let me know that my mother just went by EMS to Parkview Noble, and that is in Kindleville. And my only thought is, and I'm gonna cuss, how the fuck am I supposed to be in 2 places at one time? I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. Where do I go? And I'm like, okay. I said, I explained that to my aunt that my dad's in the hospital in the ER. They don't think he's gonna make it. So she's like, okay, I'll keep you posted. Well, all she knew is I was in a Fort Wayne hospital. I did not tell her what hospital. She was giving me updates saying that she had fluid on her chest and everything else. So They finally, after a couple hours of us being in the ER, it felt, and I could be wrong, but I know it was over an hour. They had to get him a room on the cardiac arrest room, the heart floor, I guess. That's the 5th floor. And when we finally got up to the room, they were trying to get him settled in. We went into this little waiting room right beside his room, and my aunt calls me and says, they are transporting your mother by EMS to Lutheran Hospital. I said again, are you fucking kidding me? Because Parkview and Lutheran are 2 different networks, and usually Parkview has a heart institution and everything else. But I'm like, are you kidding me? She goes, nope. I said, that is just weird as hell that my dad is in Lutheran and now my mom is going to be here. So they finally, my aunt called me, said that she's there. I actually talked to one of the nurses on the 5th floor to see if they could tell me what room my mom was in. My mom's on the 3rd floor. So to talk this all off, so I had my mom in the 3rd floor, not knowing what the hell was going on because she couldn't remember anything. All she knew, she couldn't breathe. Everything else. They were doing a whole bunch of tests. Nobody was telling me anything. We knew what was going on with my dad. And he was in a lot of pain. I did not want to leave that hospital, so the husband that I have called off both his jobs to take care of our son. Zach did not go to school that day. I would say over 36 hours with no sleep. Might be a little less, might be a little more. I'm not for sure. So, speed this up. The next couple days, we finally got Zach to school, but I was going back and forth. I slept at the hospital. My stepmom and my dad's wishes was that he just wanted to go. He wanted just to be comfortable until his time was done. And so it took us until I think Wednesday or Thursday to get hospice in there. And he did not want to go to a facility, so they ended up having to take him home to do hospice at home. The same day my mom Dad went home, my mom went to the 5th floor, and we found out that she had to do tests. She had heart failure. That her ejection fraction is only 10%, and being that because she had cancer, she is not candidate to be on the heart transplant list. But she has maybe an option to do a left ventricle heart pump. Still major heart surgery. Okay? Well, she said okay. She had to do this whole mock-up, and all the mock-up happened. My mom, I don't know if some of you guys have seen my mom. My mom was pretty hefty like me. She was still smaller than me, but pretty hefty. In the last year, she has lost so much weight. She is at 119 pounds. She is so frail that if they were to even do compressions, they would really seriously hurt her. That's how bad this is. I'm pulling into my dad's driveway. So I will continue this when I leave my dad's house. So just remember, Dad's going from the thing to hospice, and my mom's coming to the 5th floor. Okay, so I'm just actually leaving my dad's. It was a few hours. Usually I'm there several, but today was more of a day of doing my errands and everything, and I get to stay the night at my dad's house tomorrow. So to top this all off, to let you know that my mom went to the 5th floor. Dad come home. Dad is now on hospice. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. My mom, we do now know what is going on. My mom is at the end stage of heart failure. I do apologize. This road is kind of bumpy. So, ejection fraction at 10%, but her heart is really weak. And how her heart is, it's her left part of left ventricle is not pumping this stuff out to her organs correctly. So really what is actually pumping is the major things that she needs, like her brain, her heart, her lungs, kidneys, all that stuff. So like some of the stuff, like for instance, her stomach and stuff is not getting the blood that it needs. So we have been doing all this stuff, and last Wednesday they were going to do open heart surgery, but there was stipulations to put this left ventricle pump in. Means part of it is inside my mom, and then some of it is out. The problem we're having now is that my mom is so weak, and her heart is so weak, that she really has to gain weight, and she doesn't know if she wants to live quantity over quantity, because if she does get this done, like I said before, she doesn't have that option right now. She has to gain at least 10 pounds in 3 months, and then they can look back at it. But she has pretty much told me that she's done. She doesn't want to do it because that means that she'd always have a battery pack. She'd always have stuff, on her. But right now, she has that as well. The only thing that she has an IV port in, that she has an IV bag of medicine, and that's pretty much what is how they said it to me. What this medicine is actually doing is, think of a horse jockey, and you have a horse jockey, and the horse jockey whips the horse to get it to go. That is all this medicine is doing, is it's whipping, for the most part, my mom's heart, and eventually that medicine will not work. They're telling us that medicine, it is a low dose. It's about 3 months and it's done. They don't see her, they say a year, but in all honesty, the doctor said that she can go any time of how her heart is, even with this medicine. So that is what we're struggling with right now. I am trying to struggle with my mom dealing with this, and she did get to come home, so she is at my aunt's and cousin's house, and my dad is home on hospice. Now my mom does have a nurse comes in once a week. They have taught myself and my cousin how to do the IV bag, and my cousin does it every night for me, so then I can get to spend a little bit of time with my family. Zach is not doing very well on this. He is having a real hard time. That he is losing both of his grandparents in probably less than a year. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing well, but I'm trying to stay strong for Zach and for my other siblings, and that's all I can really do. I'm always on the go. I'm wanting to craft. I'm trying to craft, but it's not happening. I want to get my craft room done. It's not happening. My dad is getting actually worse. We know it's just a matter of time. He's now getting pissed because he's asking us, well, why haven't I went? I don't have no say in this, type thing. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No. Well, yes. Yesterday, Zach had a doctor's appointment. He was sick. He's now getting better. But he had a major meltdown. So, doctor did not want him at school yesterday with the meltdown that he had. So, he actually stayed with his grandpa and I yesterday. We were with his grandpa and Grandma Laura yesterday. Just so he could spend some time with his grandpa. Mind you, his grandpa pretty much slept all night or all day, and his nights and days are mixed up. Hospice is not what it used to be, so hospice nurse comes in twice a week, if that. Chaplain would come in. I mean, there's no real help. My stepmom is coping with the best way she can, but she's got her own issues. And she's trying. My dad is now at the angry stage, I guess is what you want to call it. He's like, I'm going to do it whether you want me to or not. And like he will go double up his fist. I'm like, go ahead, do it. Fall on the floor, it's your ass, not mine. He's not supposed to be getting out of bed, and he's being pretty persistent. Today, I let him stand up. I'm the only one that lets him stand up. But it takes us about 5 minutes to stand up and give him 10 seconds to hold himself up, and then I'm like, you can sit your ass back down. So guys, that's for the gist of it, that I'm really losing both of my parents, one sooner than later. And I know that, one of my best friends, was doing a prayer change and was just telling him that my family was sick. And I appreciate, her doing the prayers and stuff, because my prayers just need to be for the family and us coping with it, because we know what the outcome is. I had to call Zach's school today and see if make sure all his teachers realize what's going on. The office knew, but I didn't know who all knew. So, this is the back way from my dad's house to our house. A lot of curves. So, if you see me in the live, or I may be watching them, my dad has really bad reception of internet at his house, really bad. He lives just way out there. He lives in a woods, so that should tell you something. But I'm going back and forth. I get done here with my dad, and then I have to go get Zach, so I'll head home, that's what I'm doing now, taking Zach to the house, and then I run to go do the stuff for my mom. It is literally exhausting. I'm in my car a couple hours a day, if not more, driving and traveling, and I'm grateful that, in all honesty, it wasn't back and forth to Fort Wayne, because I was doing that twice a day. It's pretty pricey, you don't think anything of it, and you want to help your parents, and you want to be there, but then there's just not enough time in the day to do everything, and it sucks, because Zach's in the middle school. This is his first year in the middle school, and I wanted it to make it, memorable. And he had a shitty elementary school with all the bullying and stuff, and now everything was going good until this happened. More like he even said, "Mom, I like school," and now 2 weeks in, after all this happened, he's like, "I don't want to go to school. I want to be with you. I'm like, buddy, but you can't." And I know he's worried about me, and he is. He has meltdowns when I stay at my dad's house because my stepmom really needs the help. My dad is bigger than I am, and he's filling up with fluid, and she can't do it all, and nurses are just so outrageous to do. So we're trying to get on some kind of schedule, and it doesn't work very good. She gets the night ones, and it sucks for her, and I feel so sorry. But my brother decided to go ahead and take a personal day tonight, and this is Thursday, and go ahead and stay with Dad tonight. Jamie and I discussed it, and I'm going to stay Friday night to give her a little bit of a leeway, so then she has some time. She can sleep and get some sleep, and then we're going to back up the way we are on the weekend, because it's a holiday weekend, and I had already had our weekend planned, and trying to cancel some of that, it's going to be hard. Now, will I check on both of them? Yes, but that's why I haven't been messaging. I know people have been messaging me and through Instagram and all that, and I haven't responded. I do read them, but I'm halfway asleep when I do read them, or to be honest, I'm probably looking at it while I'm driving when I shouldn't be. The only real messages that I really respond to are actually text messages, like from my phone, or calling. I haven't done a lot of video chatting. I haven't done any of that. It's been a lot of calling, and just because I have to save my battery on my phone, and that's the whole thing. Like today, I'm recording right now, and my phone's at 39%, and I didn't realize. I must have forgot to do it. So, but that is the update for you guys. If anything else comes, I will try to let you guys know. I just wanted to let you know that the reason why I haven't been on and everything else. And I know I don't have to let you guys know what's going on. I can just shut my YouTube channel off and be done. But I started this channel when my mom got cancer to help me release all my anxiety and everything, and I need it now more than ever, but I don't have the time or means to do it, which sucks. So, and this weekend's the garage sale weekend. You see a whole bunch of garage sales, and it really sucks because I want to go and I can't. But I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day weekend. Like I said, if you want to email, I do read them. I'm just not the best in responding back. I guess that's the way I want to say it. So, I hope you have a great weekend, and please just say a little prayer for my family, knowing we know what the outcome is, and I'm hoping Zach can get through this and be stronger than what he is, and I am gonna try to do the same.